Okay. Good. Well, for me, good evening, everybody from Johannesburg. And welcome again to our Sacred Wisdom Circle that you have found your way to. We're linked by a golden thread. We are lighthouses and beacons of truth, guiding our way and guiding the way. Through deep conversations and shared wisdom, we illuminate the path and heal through truth. So welcome again to the Sacred Wisdom Circle. Wonderful to have you with us.
Yay. Hello,
Yay.
everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Oh, excited to be here, you guys.
I have to say that for me today, this is like a balm to my spirit. I've had one of those service provider, chaos, revolting, awful days. This morning was great, but this afternoon was just awful. But anyway, that's why I'm glad I'm here, because my nervous system can settle and I can just be in your beautiful spaces. So I'm very grateful to be here. And that's one of the things for me too, is that it's one of the ways that we do allow our nervous system to settle, is when we come together in community with women of like mind, like heart, and like soul. So I'm very grateful for each one of you today. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
glad we can be here to help. Things are shifting and changing for a lot of people, and drastically for some, and tragically for some. Definitely around my community, there's been some very tragic and sudden deaths of a few community members that are near and dear to our hearts. So we're experiencing the full spectrum here of this beautiful energy that's coming through.
And the same is happening for me right now. There is a lot of shifting, a lot of growing, and there's been a lot of loss in the community over the last little while. People passing, car accidents, like it's just been really, really intense with regards to that. And holding space for people, as the work that I do, when people are having these things come up and they're like feeling guilty, oh my God, I can't make the appointment. It's like, you know what? You got to do what you got to do right now. I'm here and I'll hold space. I'll be here when you're ready to come back. It's letting them know that it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's as long as you are doing what you need to do that's best for you at this particular point in time, that's what matters.
Yeah, totally. And you say, car accidents, that's the same thing that happened here. A loss of life there, and a young man, and very tragic. But again, that's kind of that, that message that's been coming through of heighten your awareness in all aspects. So it's heighten your awareness of the energies and feel into them, and the energies in your own body and where you are, like your own nervous system, and also be aware of what's going on around you. Not that it was, any fault of his, but it's just that that's part of life. Things are going to happen and change quickly. And so we need to kind of be not in dream zone, like La La Land, but present right here in this moment, right? And so and then there's that opposite end of the spectrum where it's like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. I don't know about you guys, but how are you feeling? Um, Yesterday I found the energy shifted. I was kind of in that zone of, stay in the zone of the void, let things unfold as they will. And then yesterday morning it's like, okay, go. It's literally
I had a similar experience. I've a different experience that I've had through the Sagittarius season is I've been very cocooned. And in the feeling like I'm in the void, but what it's done is it's birthed the whole framework of the book that I'm writing, on a metaphysical level, as well as the physical book as to what it's going to look like. And this week I've been finalizing the proposal to send to an editor. And yesterday, so the contextual framework of the book was where are we? Yesterday was Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yesterday morning, all the structure came in, all the hard, fast structure in terms of what the actual chapters look like, what's going to be going into all the check. And I could feel that shift from almost being up here, grounding into the earth. So for me, I found a tremendous sense of grounding energy yesterday, and it's come through today, through today as well. Which also is part of the Capricorn energy already starting to come in, because Capricorn is all about scaffolding. It's about processes. It's about structures. It's about all of those kinds of things that come, the organizing, all of that stuff comes in with Capricorn energy. So reflections for me for December with the Sagittarius energy has been around, where have we been pointing our arrow? And that's a heightened level of Sagittarius energy. And so, yeah, that's been quite interesting for me. So, yeah, I did definitely feel a shift yesterday.
Well, like you said, Janice, like the last few days, there's definitely been a shift where energies for me and my aspect. I was telling these ladies earlier before we came on that I'm exhausted because and not from overexertion, but the energy that's been running and the downloads that have been coming through and trying to keep up with it. I was telling somebody on Wednesday that I felt or yesterday, I guess it was, very scattered because I wasn't doing any grounding in it. I was kind of like just all excited about it and it felt really good and I was enjoying the feeling. And then even this morning, my brain just would not shut off. So I was up early and but just the shift that has happened and seeing the evidence of the shift in my business, in the creation and how things feel around what I'm doing in my business. It's been so interesting. Just kind of allowing that to flow. But then again, like I said, the energy, sometimes it taps us out. That's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah, when it keeps you awake all night thinking and you getting all these creative inspirations coming through, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
For the human.
Yeah.
One of the things that has helped me through that kind of intensity, because it's been long. I mean, this has been going on since I can't even remember when, probably mid-September, is pacing myself and allowing. So even when I put the proposal together, I would do a section and then I would rest, and then I would do another section and I would rest. And so coming to the end of it, I didn't feel, where before I would have kind of pushed my way through and done it fast and made sure that it was all done, boom, 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 boom. And then I would have been completely depleted. And this time around, all I felt when I kind of put the last full stop into the proposal yesterday was just this incredible sense of peace, groundedness, and what's the other? Not exhilaration, because that would be too extreme, but certainly whole, I think, was a good expression. Without having that depletion of the energies of kind of being in the doing, and also the being, because it's been a lot of being energy and now sinking into the doing energy. So that I've learned that's been one of the most valuable lessons I've learned about putting this proposal together, is just the whole question of pacing.
Yeah. It wasn't so much the doing, it's just as this being in that state. Like I was telling somebody yesterday, it was such a vibrational state. And it was funny because when I mentioned it to her about being like scattered, she's like, "Oh, I love that idea more than, just being scattered and beating yourself up about it." But I was just like, I was like in such a high vibration. Well, it's hard because you're not connected, you're not grounded. And so I'm literally all morning I've been sitting here with stones in my hands for the last crystals in my hands for the last like literally since I got up. I've been like, as I'm on calls and stuff, I'm in the process of needing to ground that energy. So yeah. Tools, use the fun tools.
Yeah.
How about you, Pam? What are you feeling?
It's that, well, because I'm listening to you, and I'm very much at this point kind of in the flow. And I think I've been there for a long while. And I don't get caught up in the I have to get it all done yesterday. There was a time where I did. I wanted to push through everything, right? That ego wants to get it done. And learning to navigate and ebb and flow, because that's what it's the energy. It's that whole element. And I've learned through my work that my ego's involved if I'm taking on a whole lot of the energy, because energy flows through us. And when we learn to go, okay, I can feel this energy, but I don't need to take it on. It's that whole element of letting it flow through. So I find that the ebbing and the flowing that I'm doing right now, I'm not caught up in the stories or the energy of other people's stories. It's holding that space and allowing the room for people to talk through what they need to talk through, right? Um, I'm finding that yesterday was a meeting with my web designer. I've never felt more aligned with a woman than I have with that woman making my,
Right.
and she's had some things going on in her life, and she's like, I am not treating you like the best client. And I'm like, relax. Life can get in the way. You've got some important things going on. We're here, it's happening, and it's coming together nicely. We don't have to rush it.
Mm.
And a lot of people have a hard time with the whole element of we don't have to rush it. But I've learned, like you, Angela, that element of taking time to rest, there is such value in that. Such value. So doing a little bit, pacing yourself, giving your body the rest that you need so that you are actually flowing better.
Mhm.
It's giving you that space. And far too often, we don't hold enough space for ourselves.
Correct.
We can do it for other people, but we forget to do it for ourselves. So really, really important for allowing what's to come to you, not just making it happen.
Well,
Mhm.
and it's very much that human body moving into the new light body that we need to allow the human body, because it's denser, it's more material, to shift and catch up to your heart, soul, mind, because you could be racing ahead and then your body, kind of like what you're going through, Alana,
Mhm.
is going, wait a minute. Put the brakes on. I need some
Yeah.
sleep here, because
Yeah.
we're still in this physical form, which is, that's normal for everyone to be feeling that way. And not only what Alana's feeling of like, okay, just like I'm so excited, but I need sleep. I recognize that it's such a fun time. It's such a fun energy to be in. But
Mhm.
also, when your body is feeling like sluggish or off or sick, or it could be processing, and it
Yeah.
just needs time for the energies to integrate. And as we're moving into this new year of fast moving energy, we need to remember that, all of us, that, okay, you know, what can I do for my body to help it catch up? And
Yep.
okay, Janice, stop eating the Christmas cookies would probably be a good idea. I'm quite
But they're
enjoying.
right there.
I know, and I'm doing my part to get rid of them so that we can start fresh. So I'm just enjoying them in the moment, but consciously enjoying them, knowing it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I know this isn't the great thing for my body, but I'm choosing it anyways. But not beating myself up about it either, because it's like, well, i- in a week I'll probably be ready to cleanse. Clear. But one of the things too is what came through for me was, the water, right? And that's coming through for a lot of people. It's like,
Yeah.
bless your water before you drink it. Like, put the energy in, and and the energy of love, and that, as you are drinking it, and into your food, because your food is a lot of water too, right? But
Mm.
yeah, bless those Christmas cookies, and then
And then
have some
consume them.
more.
I don't have Christmas cookies, so I'm going to bless popcorn.
There
Okay,
you go.
I have both.
Well, I think especially at this time of year, we get caught up in the commercialism and the environment and the energy of even like the holidays for those of us here on this side of the world, where it's like you get so like we're close enough that people are getting almost chaotic, and there's no rest in that. And what if you just were in a shift of it? And that's where I'm totally at, in like, yes, my energy's high for this, for what's coming through. But like I'm reflecting with that rest piece that you guys are all speaking about, of like, oh, I have all these things to do. And then I go, no, I don't care enough to like, it's like, what if it's not that I don't care, but like, what if it looks different? What if it doesn't need to be the rush of getting all the cookies done and all the things? Cause that's what I always seem to get caught up in. And I'm choosing differently this year of like, what if it looks like just ease and flow? And what if it's just whatever it is and whatever it will be? And not worrying about, oh my gosh, every person, their dog needs a gift and blah, 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 right?
You know what? You're creating a new construct for yourself, in all honesty, right? It's breaking down the old in what we've known for, much of our lifetime, as far as the family traditions and, that get carried on. Well, are they aligned with me anymore? Right. And people are so afraid, I've seen this, to change
Yeah.
that. And it's like, no, create something that feels good and magical for you. It may not look at all the same as what's happened in the past with everybody else. And I'm not saying there wasn't magic in that, but we're in a different era. We are in a different energy. We are doing things differently. So for those of you out there that feel like you're struggling about what I should be doing around the Christmas, follow your heart.
Yeah.
Follow what brings you the joy, right? It's that element of, this is a time of year when people go into, they don't have their close loved ones around. Yes, this can be a very upsetting time in that regard, but how can you honor that family that's not here physically anymore? And I've been sharing ideas with people around that and getting ideas from people of what's good for them to actually create that honoring of the past while bringing in what's new for them. Right? And it's creating new traditions. It's creating a new way of being. And breaking away from the commercialism, I think, is the hugest aspect
Biggest,
of
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I look at out there in society and in businesses, and, they're starting Christmas in September. And I'm like, how ridiculous, because again, it shows how everything is driven monetarily. And it's not really about the traditions, it's about the money. But being able for yourself to go, okay, what's important to me? What does Christmas mean to me? And is it really all the presents, or is it about the connection?
Yeah.
We
It
made a
really,
decision as a family. Sorry, Pam. We made a decision as a family. Well, in fact, my daughter and her husband made the decision. And then, I mean, consulted, of course, but they came up with the idea. And I know a lot of people do that, of having Secret Santa. So each one of us pull a name out of the hat, and we buy one gift for that particular person. And that's what we do to extricate ourselves out of the whole commercialism of Christmas. And they're having Christmas in their home this year because they've just moved into a house this year, and they're setting up their own traditions. Some a little bit from his mom's home, a little bit from our home, but they actually are molding and carving their own set of traditions. For me, I'm just grateful that I become the guest instead of the hostess, because I don't have to do all that anymore. And it's really, there's a time where we pass the baton onto somebody else. So that's for me part of my new tradition, is to actually step back and hand that over to my daughter and her husband. That I don't have to hold it all together anymore. I had my turn, did my turn.
yep.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
I love when we all bring stuff. I get that too this year, Angela. I get to step back. My daughter is like, I want to have Christmas. And I'm like, are you sure? Like, okay. And it works good because their house is a little bigger for the kids to play in. So it works really good. And letting go of all of that is kind of a new experience. So it's a lot of fun though. But I love when everyone brings food. It's about the food.
Right?
Oh yeah,
But can we,
potlucks at Christmas time are the best.
right?
And my mom used to do like her tradition every year. Literally, it was a lot of work, but she would have food out for the week. Like literally, she would bake enough that when people came to visit, like there was always a spread, a buffet style. And I loved that growing up. It was great. but that's a lot of work, right? So
Yes.
I'm loving that, where I'm at now. You know what? Potluck. Everybody share in the meal and bring something that's special
Yep.
or meaningful
Yep.
for you. And it makes it more magical. And it's a lot less work on one individual,
Yeah.
right?
Right? Yeah, it always ended up being one person. But I love the potluck when everybody brings their special. Like I still remember, like we haven't been close to family in 23 years, but the aunts bringing in their different salads and all the
Yeah.
different special foods. It's so much fun. So much fun. Such a smorgasbord. Um, but can we talk about the energy coming through? Like I am feeling like a little kid, and it's not even like I'm waiting for Christmas because I have not been in the Christmas spirit this year. But I feel that just like I said, since yesterday, this anticipation, this hope, this excitement coming through like a little kid waiting for Christmas. Right? That's it is
Around Christmas in general, or like just in
no,
energy
just
wise?
I usually get feeling this way in the new year, like fresh new hope. Okay,
Well,
let's fresh cleanse. But it's like, whoa, it landed yesterday and I'm like, oh my gosh, we made it.
Well, and that's literally what I'm feeling like like that energy of like re-energized, but it's like I said, it kind of all came in at once. So it was like maybe that's why it was exhausting, but it's like the potential of the next year is just like and that was what was going on at 4 o'clock this morning is like what the creation that's coming is happening. And I like it's like you said, that childlike excitement. And that's why I couldn't sleep this morning.
And I think it's got a lot to do with the work that we've all done through the year, in the sense of the clearing, of the releasing, the letting go, the creating space for the new to come in. Also creating the foundations for the new year to come as well. I mean, that's been a huge part of the energy through this year. And that's, for new to come in, we've got to let go of the old. So we create the space, the vacuum that spirit will always fill with something. And depending on what work we're doing will determine what that something is. And the other thing that's come up for me this year as well is showing up and just leaving the results to spirit, to the universe, to God, to whatever we want to call it, is just showing up. Because I don't know what's around the corner. My God does. I don't. And so that's been pretty much a quite a strong theme for me this year. Has been a lot of releasing, a lot of letting go, creating that space for the new to arrive. And I had that feeling at the end of November already, where in my journaling it came through that, okay, 2025's done. 2026's energy is already starting to come in. And I'm sure, I mean, the discussions that we've had through December, all of you have started to, we've all experienced the fact that the newer energy is coming in a whole lot quicker than what it normally would.
Yeah, totally. That's it, it feels you know what it came through this morning and I keep Soulfully Alive Women as completely non-denominational and not into any form of specific religion in any way. But I was like, I wonder, because it just feels like this energy coming in is like a fresh new energy. And the correlation to the birth of Christ, like the birth of Christ brought in a new energy for the world, a new frequency for the world and new hope. And that's what I was feeling this morning. It's like, wow, it's almost like, what would you call the second coming? I don't know. But it just feels like this new wave of energy landed. And we've come through 6 years, if not more, of sludge. And it feels like we made it. We're at the top of the hill. We made it. Now we get to really create. Not that there won't be more difficulties and humanity issues. There will, but it just feels like there's more light coming through, more hope, more,
it's
okay, there's going to be more breaks. Yeah, go ahead.
a rebirthing. It literally for humanity is a rebirthing.
Yeah.
And when you're sensitive to the energies, we do step into that excitement. But for other people, that rebirthing might feel uncomfortable. So
Yeah.
those of you that maybe are not where we're at and have a complete understanding and can embrace it in a very different way, it might feel uncomfortable for you, this rebirthing, right? And it's a global thing. It's not just an individual thing. It really, at this particular point, is a global thing, which I think is why, which I believe is why the energies are more intense right now, because it is pushing, for those of us who get it, it's pushing us further into the light, stepping into the light a little more. But for the people who are still challenged, it's pushing them into their shadow a little more in order to be able to get to that place of light. So for each individual, it's going to look very different what they're experiencing, right?
Well,
But
birth
it's
is not comfortable.
no, birth is not
No.
comfortable.
But if you can hold that vision, like, when you're going through the labor pains and the nurses around you say, just picture holding that baby. Just imagine holding that baby to get you through, right? And I think that's a good point of vision. Like stay focused on your vision when you're going through the changes and it's yucky and it doesn't feel good and it's hard. Yeah.
And honor
I think
yourself by being present too. Don't go too far into the future,
that's
because the presence is what's most important. The magic happens in the now. It really does. And our human ego, when we're new to this, can actually go too far out into the future, and then it's like we're grasping. And you want to be in the flow, so you're not grasping. So it's that element of being present to what you're going through, what's going on around you right now. And it's not to necessarily buy into what's going on around you. You don't need to take that on. It's just the awareness, as you were talking about earlier, Janice.
Yeah,
I
totally.
think, yeah, where for me, when you're talking about the birth of the Christ, the consciousness for me is the Aquarian Christ consciousness. It's different to the Piscean Christ consciousness, which is the energy that we're moving out of and moving into the Aquarian consciousness. So it's at a heightened, it's like in the spiral, it's at a heightened level of the Christ consciousness compared to what it has been before. Do I know exactly what it is? Not yet. I'm experiencing it as it's unfolding. So that experience is starting to make itself manifest. It's a different way of being. And this is part of the shift that we keep talking about. It's around this movement fully into the Aquarian age. And it's different. It's much more future orientated, much more technologically orientated, and it's much more community orientated than what we're moving out of. And so, yeah, it's just, the prayer or the invocation is to be made more and more aware of what this new energy and frequency looks like and how we engage with it. Because it's unfolding. This is new. And yet it's not new in the sense that when we step into our soul space and our soul self, it's about the remembering. But in our physical bodies, it's new.
I love how we all have our own kind of spin and feel for it and how it comes through. And when I look at it and go, okay, so I get really excited and I just really want to create and go because I'm a manifester. If you know human design, I'm a manifester and I just like, it's manifesting energy. Let's go.
Right. Manifesting
And you
generator
can
here, and that's what I'm feeling. Like, holy.
Yeah, right. And you can feel, and I have a lot of Taurus and my moon's in Capricorn, so I have a lot of that hands-on, grounded, let's create with the resources that we have. Um, and then there's others that are like, okay, step back, feel this, take it slow, right? It's
I'm
you
the
get choices.
generator alchemist. So yeah, I feel the energy in a very different way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. So it's
Well,
good to know that like nobody's right or wrong and there's no right or wrong way of doing this. Like you feel into your own energy and your call and your inspiration for what it's telling you to do. And there's so many of us that have had enough, uh, you know, experiences of like, okay, well, don't go too fast. Like, be careful.
Balance.
Have you got if you got your warm boots on? Have you changed your underwear? Like, all of that energy of caution. And so feel into it for you. What is calling you forward? How does that energy want to move through you? Because we each and every single one of us have these beautiful gifts to bring to the earth, to this life, this humanity. We're here together we're all alive at the same time. Isn't that just amazing? I often do that. It's like, oh, cool. I was alive at the same time that Mother Teresa was alive. Like, that's so cool. Like, this energy that we're all collectively bringing together comes through each of us uniquely, and you need to follow that and shut off the voices around you and just listen to your heart and
Mhm.
move from there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
breaking that construct where we were, as a kid told what to do,
Right.
right? We had to listen to what everybody else was telling us. And it's now recognizing and realizing we don't need to listen to anybody but ourselves.
Mm.
We don't need to honor anybody but ourselves.
Yes.
Because when we're doing that, we're going to show up naturally, in a better way for the people around us.
Mhm.
It all starts with us first.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
also, listening to our feelings and listening to our body and what is our body telling us. If our body's telling us, like Alana needs rest, then we need to rest. It's not the time to push. It's not the time to even create. And the experiences that I've had when I've gone into that space of rest, when I come out of it and I'm now starting into the creation, it goes so much quicker, way, way faster than if I was still trying to push the boulder up the hill, being in my world, doing it my way, doing it from my ego. So I've really, really come to trust those pauses and what comes out as a result of those pauses at the end as well. Sorry, Alana, I hope I didn't cut you off.
No, it's all good. And I was just going back to like Janice's thought about like how we all receive it differently, but it's like you'd mentioned Janice earlier about the hope, and that's like I said, I'm so feeling that too, and it feels like kind of like that. Well, and like when we're coming in from the snake energy of the releasing, what we've talked about, like what we've all gone through in the last year of creating space, all these things, and moving into the horse energy of like momentum and movement and shifting into like a grounded way, in my opinion. But momentum still, and like that hope of like, and that's what I was feeling, was literally feeling that momentum of what has shifted for me, even just like I mentioned, kind of in my business and what I'm doing. I feel that momentum, like just ready, like you're drawing the bow back, and it's like, and that's where I'm like, okay, and this is where you're saying, or Angela, about like the rest is like, I know it's ready to freaking go, and it's just, yeah, okay, deep breath, take a quick minute, and then allow it to be. And that's exactly what kind of where I was at today, where I got on. It's just like, okay, well, I'm just going to allow this next, because we're opening up space right now where there is a holiday and there is time people are going to take. So, I mean, when we're talking business wise, there's not a whole lot of there is opportunity here. But people aren't going to be as receptive to it at this point because they're going to be doing their own thing in their family. So it's like, I know I'm going to take my time with it. But the feeling, like you said, is like, I feel like I'm not pushing the boulder up the hill. I'm literally ready to release it. And that's what I'm feeling right now, is like, it's ready to go and I'm just ready to ride the wave with it. And that's the momentum and the feeling of energy that like you're mentioning, Janice, that I'm feeling of like, let's just, it's ready to just tip. It feels like it's just ready to tip.
The energy of the surfer on a surfboard always what comes to mind when you talk about that kind of energy is kind of waiting on the board as the wave starts to build and then starting to paddle as the wave starts breaking.
Yeah,
And it's that kind of energy.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Now I'm re-energized again.
great
Look what
analogy.
Yeah. Yeah, and you've got all this wind at your back, and oh, it's so wonderful. And it really is quite an addictive
The thrill,
it
yeah.
is a
Dopamine hits. There we go with the
And
dopamine hits.
yeah, and you can have a fall at the end and knowing, and so that's good to know for everybody out there too, that there is that kind of comment, because life is that roller coaster, but your lows are becoming higher. So just know that when you come down from that high, it's okay, because that's the rest and integration time, and then you'll go again. And it's
And like,
not, oh, it'll never be like that again. I'll never get that creative inspiration again. Yes, you will. Yes, you
Yes,
will.
it is. Ebb and
Yeah.
flow of the ebb and flow
Yeah.
of the wave.
an
Ah,
increase. We're on an ascension path. So it's like you said, you go up and yes, there's a down, but you're not lower than you were before. You're still going up. And then the next one's a little further. And then it just keeps going up. It's going up that incremental ascension. And it's knowing that and trusting in what's being created, like we said, and leaning into the energy and allowing it, like you said earlier, Pam, of like being and allowing it to kind of take the flow with us. Like you said, riding the wave, as opposed to Angela, as opposed to, I'm going to paddle 5 million times like up a waterfall. Like, I don't know. Like, it can be difficult or it can be easy.
yeah, and you're
And
never.
Yeah, it's that salmon energy of going against the stream is not working anymore. It just doesn't work anymore.
No. Oh, sorry. You're never starting back at ground level. Like
Never.
you're still creating and going. So, and this is really important kind of mindset work as you are growing and expanding, because at every single time there's these fears, there's these old patterns that come in and question and try to pull you back and keep you safe, because this is unfamiliar territory. So that's where it's so beautiful to have a mentorship or a coach or a group that can say, yeah, okay, I know where you're at, and this is here's some navigating tips for you. So, or when you do kind of come over that and come down again, it's like, no, you're okay. You're going to keep going. So,
Mhm.
and it's more than just you're okay. There are actual things that we can give you to to help you navigate through it. But yeah, that's the growth. That's the beautiful
And tongue in cheek,
up-leveling.
yeah, tongue in cheek, what I'm going to be saying, watch more of these videos.
Yes, yes, it's right.
I agree with you, Janice, in the sense that we can get in our own way,
Mm.
right? It's
Yep.
that whole element of getting out of our way, really stepping aside from that egoic aspect of ourselves. And that is what's probably the biggest challenge when we're stepping into the spiritual understanding and awareness.
Yeah.
What I tell people is you can never go completely backwards. So that statement about, we never start at ground level again, it's absolutely accurate. When we do this work, we may revisit some things, but you can't unlearn the things that you're learning.
Right.
Those things, especially when they're ingrained and internalized and really mean something, those things you don't lose. So you can never go completely backwards and start all over again, because
I just want to,
that circular ascension aspect. We may spiral back to
wow.
something, but you will not ever go back down to where you were before.
Mhm.
It's like
You
you
may
can't
feel,
unlearn those
yeah,
things.
you may feel like that's what's happening, but
Absolutely.
it's not actually the truth.
No.
And so being aware of the feelings and allowing the feelings to be expressed is also a huge part of making sure that we're moving up through the spiral. And very often people, I know I've had it, and very often people will experience the feelings about where they're at and then think that they've regressed, which is actually not the truth. All that
And
is,
a lot of that is
all-
judgment too, right?
Yeah. It's all it's a sense of the feelings that are keeping us stuck in the story, but we get to recognize the story so much quicker. And we get to develop the coping mechanisms to shift, as Janice was talking about. So instead of us doing this, we start to do this.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it starts to even out. And also the gaps between when we're going through those experiences and normalizing and integrating again get shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. And it's so when we're feeling like that, it's not that we've regressed and gone backwards at all. It's just an old muscle memory that's been conditioned that's coming up to say, this is what's actually going on. It's a heart muscle memory. And we are in the process of instilling a new heart muscle memory with the way that we are evolving and growing. And so, yeah, if you're ever feeling like you've got, you've taken 2 steps forward and 10 steps back, that's not actually the truth.
No.
Not the truth at all. And so sit with the feelings and ask the feelings, what are they telling you? What are they sharing with you? What are you needing to let go of that's no longer your truth?
Feelings and beliefs, old patterning,
Yes.
old fears, like the fears that are, okay, if I do this, I'm not safe. This might happen or that might happen. So that's where the coaching comes in to say, okay, wait a minute, you're stepping into a new level of you. And so you're going to have these fears come up. And they're going to be loud. And instead of self-sabotaging, let's do this. Let's go this way instead. Let's reframe that. Let's relook at that in a new way that is going to be a more expanded you, a more high potential you, because you can get on to these highs and then self-sabotage. So then it just kind of levels out rather than continuing to expand and grow for you. So that's, yeah, I love it. You guys, juicy
Yeah,
conversation. Alana, how are you
amazing.
feeling? Are you
I'm
all
feeling
revved up
better.
again?
Like, yep. You guys energize me every time, so I don't know why.
I knew it would happen.
Yeah. I could see it shifting in your face, actually,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is
Oh my
awesome.
goodness.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
I think that kind of brings us to the point of wrapping it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
And so thank you everyone for joining us in our circle. And as the circle closes for now, the light remains. The Christ light too of the Christmas child remains with us as well. The Hanukkah lights, the Kwanzaa lights also remain with us. Not just here, but within you. Let these teachings echo through your being like a lighthouse that calls over the sea, steady, unwavering, and sovereign. And if there is anything here that's touched your soul, please share it with others. Subscribe if you feel the call. And remember that you are the light, you are the way, and the circle will be here when you need to return after all the Christmas cookies have been eaten. So blessings to everybody for happy holidays in whatever way, manner, or shape you are celebrating, whether it's Hanukkah, whether it's Kwanzaa, whether it's Christmas. We wish you from our circle to yours very, very blessed holidays.
Yes. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.